What if your body was already moving toward diabetes and you didn't even realize it? Most people think diabetes appears suddenly. One day everything is fine. The next day, diagnosis. But that's not how it really happens. There is a stage before diabetes. A quiet stage. A hidden stage. A stage where the body is already struggling. But the symptoms are still subtle. This stage is called prediabetes. And millions of people are living in it right now. Without knowing. Because the signs are easy to ignore. Easy to explain. Easy to miss. Today, we're going to talk about 5 signs of prediabetes that most people overlook. These are early warning signals. Signals your body may be sending before blood sugar becomes dangerously high. And one of these signs is something many people experience every day, but never connect to blood sugar. Let's begin. The first sign is constant fatigue, not just feeling tired after a long day, but a deeper, ongoing lack of energy, even after rest, even after sleep. People often describe it as, "I wake up tired. I don't have energy like I used to." This happens because the body is beginning to struggle with glucose. In prediabetes, the cells become less responsive to insulin. This is called insulin resistance. Glucose is present in the bloodstream, but the cells cannot use it efficiently. As a result, energy production decreases, the body feels drained, and fatigue becomes constant. Most people blame age, stress, lifestyle. But sometimes, it's an early metabolic signal. The second sign is increased hunger, especially after eating. Some people feel hungry shortly after meals, as if the food didn't satisfy them. This is not just about appetite, it's about how the body is processing energy. When glucose is not entering the cells properly, the body thinks it needs more fuel, so it sends hunger signals, even though there is already sugar in the blood. This creates a cycle. Eat, still hungry, eat again, and over time, this can lead to weight gain. And the third sign is something many people completely overlook. Darkened areas of skin, especially around the neck, the armpits, the elbows. This condition may appear as darker, thicker, slightly velvety skin. This is often linked to insulin resistance. The body produces more insulin, and this affects skin cells. Many people think it's just a skin issue, but it can be an early internal signal. The fourth sign is difficulty losing weight, or unexpected weight gain, even when diet hasn't changed, even when you try to eat healthier. This happens because insulin plays a key role in fat storage. When insulin levels are high, the body stores more fat and has a harder time burning it. This creates resistance to weight loss. People often feel frustrated. They think, "I'm doing everything right, but nothing changes." But sometimes the issue is metabolic. The fifth sign is something many people experience daily: brain fog, difficulty focusing, slower thinking, mental fatigue. This happens because the brain depends heavily on glucose. But when glucose is not being used efficiently, brain function can be affected. People may notice difficulty concentrating, forgetfulness, lack of clarity, and they often blame stress, sleep, age, but it may be an early signal. At this point, something important becomes clear. These symptoms don't feel serious, they don't feel urgent, but they are signals. Signals that the body may be struggling with blood sugar regulation. Now here's something most people don't realize. Prediabetes doesn't feel like a disease. It doesn't stop you from living your normal life. You can go to work, eat as usual, go about your day, and feel almost normal. That's what makes it so dangerous. Because while everything seems fine on the outside, inside the body, something has already changed. Let's talk about what's really happening. When you eat, your body breaks food down into glucose. This glucose enters your bloodstream, and insulin helps move that glucose into your cells, where it's used for energy. But in prediabetes, the system starts to struggle. The cells become less responsive to insulin. This is called insulin resistance. First, the body tries to compensate. It produces more insulin, trying to push glucose into the cells. And for a while, it works. Blood sugar may stay within a normal range. But the system is under pressure. More insulin, more effort, more strain. Over time, this balance becomes harder to maintain. Glucose begins to stay in the bloodstream longer. Blood sugar levels start to rise, and that's when prediabetes begins to move toward diabetes. But here's the key point. This process doesn't happen overnight. It develops gradually, and the body often gives signals early, through the symptoms we just discussed. Now, think about this. What if these signs are not random? What if they are your body's way of telling you something is changing? Fatigue, hunger, skin changes, weight resistance, brain fog. Each one seems small, but together, they tell a story. Here's another important detail. These symptoms often appear together, not just one, but several, and that's where the real signal becomes clear. Imagine this: you feel more tired than usual. You feel hungry more often. You notice it's harder to lose weight. Your focus feels weaker, and you notice changes in your skin. Each symptom seems manageable, but together, they form a pattern of insulin resistance. Now here's something most people do. They ignore it. They say, "I'll deal with it later. I just need to eat better. It's not serious." That delay is what allows the condition to progress. Because prediabetes is not static. It moves. It progresses. If nothing changes, it often leads to type 2 diabetes. Now, let's talk about risk, because this becomes more important with age. After 40, after 50, the risk of insulin resistance increases. Lifestyle factors play a major role. Diet, activity, sleep, stress, all of these influence how the body handles glucose. And here's something critical. Millions of people are in this stage right now, without knowing, because they don't recognize the signs. That's why awareness matters, because recognizing prediabetes early creates opportunity, an opportunity to understand what's happening, an opportunity to respond, an opportunity to prevent progression. Now let's make this simple. Ask yourself, do I feel tired even after resting? Do I feel hungry shortly after eating? Do I struggle to lose weight? Have I noticed changes in my skin? Do I feel mentally slower or unfocused? If several of these signs are present, it may be time to pay attention. Now let's be clear. Not every symptom means prediabetes, but patterns matter, changes matter, repeated signals matter. Ignoring them is where risk begins. Your body is constantly communicating, through sensations, through changes, through small signals. The challenge is learning to listen. Because the most dangerous condition is the one you don't know you have. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this: small changes can signal something bigger. Prediabetes is not always obvious. It doesn't feel urgent, but it is a turning point, a moment where the body is asking for attention. Your body is always giving you information. The question is, are you paying attention? If you found this video helpful, stay with our channel. We break down important health signals into simple, clear explanations so you can better understand what your body may be trying to tell you. And in the next video, we'll talk about something just as important: the warning signs of high blood sugar that most people ignore. Make sure to stay with us so you don't miss it.